All right, well, congratulations. Wow, that's very nice and well-deserved, rising star. And now we're going to like to present our Franchisee of the Year award. And this is an award that has been presented by KOA to deserving franchisees for over 40 years. We've awarded one and sometimes two to KOA owners, and the last ones who received this at our last convention were Bill, Barbara, and Jennifer Ohlendorf at Point South KOA. And I'd like them, if they would, to please come up here, and I hope you remember to bring the hammer, which has been part of this award for a while now. And if you didn't bring it, could you go back and get it? Let's give the Ohlendorfs some recognition for achieving KOA's highest award. Great. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. It's still in good shape, although Bill has collected a few autographs from former franchisees of the year, and so if you're out there and you can track down the next recipient, you should sign the back as well. And if we get too many names on it, we'll get a bigger plaque. You know, I appreciate all you've done for KOA over the years, and particularly your involvement and engagement with the brand. You mean so much to us, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done, and I'm so happy that you're continuing on with the Point South KOA. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, as I said, KOA has presented this award for over 40 years, and what I didn't tell you is the Ohlendorfs are the last recipient. And we will no longer be choosing an award for achieving this any longer. Dorothy Drum called me yesterday, and she said she wants her hammer back. And so I said, well, I guess we'll just have to stop. And so, again, I thank Bill and Barbara and Jennifer for remembering to bring it so I can return it, and for all their work with KOA over the years. So thank you very much. No, all right. Actually, I'm being a little flippant and maybe not quite honest here, but we will no longer be selecting what we called and what we have called Franchisee of the Year. We will be honoring a slightly modified version focused on the campground more so than the individual. And not that you can separate the individual from the campground by any means, but for at least for this year and going forward, foreseeable future, we are going to now present the Campground of the Year. And we're basing that criteria on similar things as the Franchisee of the Year, and so they have to do with modernization. We've talked a lot about that, right? Modernization of facilities and services to meet the needs of tomorrow's guest. Adoption of KOA programs. And of course, so we never can't forget the service to the guest. And then innovation, execution, and the details that I think are so important. And, you know, I'm always remember something that my friend Howard Stein told me many years ago, and it's so true, and I think I use this to try to look at who the potential winner of this award might be, and he said to me, it's not what you do, but how you do it that makes all the difference. And this next recipient exemplifies the idea of not what you do, but how you do it. It's all in the execution. No matter whether you're a big park or a small operation, all campgrounds need to reinvest in their operations to meet modern-day specifications and the expectations of the next generation of camping guests. This award is intended to honor those campgrounds that are diligently working towards or have achieved aggressive goals in their redevelopment of their campgrounds. The KOA system is undergoing a game-changing transformation in both our service reputation as well as the modernization of our facilities. There are so many greatly improved and updated campgrounds that, I mean, it really was very difficult to choose just one to receive our Campground of the Year award for 2017. After talking with our field teams, Doug Mulvaney, who works with a lot of campgrounds that are doing redevelopment, all the KOA staff, and looking at the quality of work completed, plus service scores, one campground stood out from the crowd, hitting on all cylinders. Our first Campground of the Year recipient is the West Glacier KOA, owned by Greg and Teresa McClure. Congratulations. Tom, Ben, you, Erica. Greg's here with Lynn Bergstein, Tom, Eric, and Linda. Okay, I got them all. All right. And, just some of the staff that certainly have been running the campground and have made it what it is today. Let me give you a little history on this. When Charles and Norm McClure purchased the West Glacier KOA in 1976, and as you saw earlier, it was 40 years ago, right? It didn't look anything at all like it does today, and that's a good thing. I mean, not that it was bad then, but it's just so amazing now. Over the last 5 years, Greg and his team have grown the West Glacier KOA by about 15% per year, until this year when its most recent expansion plans came to online, producing over 40% more revenue on an already very big number. The amount of planning, management, creativity, modernization, and expansion over the last few years has produced one of the finest KOAs in our system. Add to that a 92% NPS score, a system ranking of 5. And there's no doubt the West Glacier KOA is adding value in a big way to the brand and their fellow KOA owners. I'm not sure what got in, a bee in his bonnet or what got Greg decided to go for it, but a number of years it happened, and the West Glacier Holiday KOA has seen an amazing amount of planning and development since that time, a complete overhaul of all existing RV sites, and a makeover that would rival any new campground in the country. Landscaping, patios, roadways, and upgraded electrical have the park that was born in the 60s looking better than new. In fact, 100% of all the sites and new RV sites have 50 amp service. Not stopping there, Greg expanded into the accommodations and premium RV site area, developing new sites for 14 deluxe cabins and 13 beautiful RV sites. With the existing park updated and a beautiful expansion plan completed, the next logical step was to add a second larger swimming pool and 61 new upgraded RV sites, 8 new deluxe cabins, and 9 combination RV tent sites. More than most parks, Greg believes in combining different styles of camping together to accommodate family gatherings and groups. His deluxe cabin area is intermingled with RV sites, and his new RV sites have the aforementioned tent pad RV sites. West Glacier also has some of the best group tenting sites of any campground I've ever seen. I mentioned that the 92% NPS score, well, their tent sites, KOA's lowest performing site type, at about a 53 average for the system. In West Glacier, the NPS on tent sites is 89%. That's a heck of a recommendation rating. My words, honestly, really do not even come close to doing justice to the quality of this campground made at the West Glacier KOA. Fortunately, we have some drone video that I'd like to show you in a second that give you a bird's eye perspective. And when you see this, it almost doesn't even look real. It looks like some model that was put out in Hollywood somewhere. The perfection and the effort and the time it took to do things just right really show up there. So at this time, if you just bear with me for about 2 minutes, I'd like to show you a little video of the West Glacier KOA and encourage you to visit there. So check that out. You guys can see it down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one beautiful campground. Out of all the very deserving KOA locations that have undergone amazing transformations, and there have been many, we believe the West Glacier KOA is a great selection for the first ever KOA Campground of the Year. I encourage all of you that can to visit Greg and Teresa and see for yourself this wonderful jewel of the KOA system. You won't regret it. Okay, Greg, now you're responsible for the hammer, and please, by all means, put it to good use. There's no reason to stop work now on expansion. We think that another 100 sites is not out of the question. I'm sure Chuck, if he's in the audience, Chuck, are you willing to loan Greg a little more money? That would be. I know that he's probably going to jump out of his chair to do it. I'd also like to present you with our always welcome bronze right behind you. So this you get to take home as well. So you look big enough to hold this. So, we'll come in here, we'll take a picture. All right. And so, I thank you, I think that this is well-deserved, and I like to say, pay it forward. The West Glacier KOA does so many great experiences for campers that pay out in a good way to all of you, and I know that that equally, this KOA family appreciates all that you've done, and I know it's a good thing for you personally, but also it's much appreciated. Thank you so much for all you do for KOA, Greg. Yeah. Okay. Shake your hand, Todd. Lynn, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Erica. Thanks, Linda. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, it's great here, guys. Well, it's been a long road, and I have to say that I wish my wife and my two brother-in-laws were here, because the place would not look like that drone video had it not been for a lot of their artistic insights. And this place, we would have never been there without staff like I have here up on stage with me also. So, thank you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to present Service Awards, the Rising Star, Campground of the Year Awards, the President's Awards, the Founders Awards today, and it's such a well-deserving crowd of individuals, and I know we thank you a lot from the stage, but sincerely, you mean everything to us, and as has been said many times, you are the brand. You are the brand, and that's why we're doing so well, is because of you. So that wraps up the luncheon today, and I think I was going to turn it over to Clint, if you're in the audience still. Oh, hey.